Kurt Vile Back to Moon Beach EP review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning here tonight to chat about this latest EP from Mr. Kurt Vile, Philadelphia-based singer-songwriter. He's been at it for years, was also once upon a time a member of the War on Drugs. Anybody else remember that? Ever since his early singer-songwriter days, his solo days I should say, for a while I was not interested. A lot of his ideas were coming off as a little half-baked, a little bit too out there. I don't know, it's just not for me, even though I know plenty of people who do enjoy it, but just was not for me. But around the time of Smoke Ring for My Halo, I became a card-carrying member of the guy's fan club overnight. This album was so hazy. His follow-up album, Waking on a Pretty Days, is just one of the most immaculate blends of folk and shoegaze and so much more. It is one of my all-time favorite albums. Also really love the old-school singer-songwriter isms on Believe I'm Going Down. Now, since then, to say the very least, my obsession with Kurt's music has died down a little bit. His Lot of Sea Lice album that he put out with Courtney Barnett was very good. I thought it was very good, but between the two of them, they could just do so much better, and I just felt like the album could have been a little bit more impactful at the end of the day. Bottle It In had some of his greatest tracks in years. I'm looking directly at Bass Ackwards, as well as Loading Zones, one of my favorite tracks of his in years, but as the album went on, it became more and more bloated. Now, his last album, last year's Watch My Moves. This was an album that was really hard for me to really rate and dissect. I mean, it had so many great moments on here that were this great sort of slacker, laid-back, swamp rock style that, listen, Kurt took to surprisingly well, more than I thought that he could in one go. But this thing was well over an hour long, and I had so many reservations on so many tracks. Now, leading up to this EP, I thought the single he dropped was pretty good, and then I started having questions. This thing is an EP, technically. It is 9 tracks long, though, and over 50 minutes. It's 52 minutes. Like, to put it in perspective here, the Danny Brown album that we reviewed yesterday, this is almost twice as long, and this is an EP compared to an album, which, okay, Kurt, you do you. The EP it's okay. Another good year for the Roses starts this thing off, and you know what? It's a really great starting point. Is it the most exciting or boldest statement from Kurt? No. But I love how mellow this track is. Lyrically, it's gorgeous. I love Kurt's performance. It's bluesy, and it also really clings to that sort of swampy slacker rock of his last album. I mean, yeah, most of this track is Kurt sounding like a half-stoned prophet, but I grew up with that sound. Touch Something, Caught a Virus has a lot of the same sounds, and I enjoy it just as much. I love the rustic strummed riff and just how sweet on the ears this track is. It's a very serious callback to the early days of singer-songwriter stuff. It's got a serious charm to it, and once again, I love Kurt's lyrics. Now, do some of these tracks need to be as long as they are? Hell no! But for an extended folk rock jam from Kurt, this is great. Like a Wounded Bird Trying to Fly is also really, really good. I mean, call it Stockholm Syndrome, call it what you will. The ambient sounds and the use of a drum machine on this track, like, literally woke me up. The result is an upbeat, breezy, sweet on the ears jam that mixes this EP up just enough. It might be the best track here, and Kurt's performance is easily his coolest and most prophetic verse here. Not only that, but get this, it actually progresses. Well done. Tom Petty's Gone But Tell Him I Asked For Him is one of the best tracks here. And listen, on this EP, this very lengthy EP, I saw an 8-minute plus track coming down the pipe, and I almost headed for the damn hills. But you know what? Kurt really knocks this out of the park. I love the little bit of grit that we get here. I love the twangy rip, and not only that, but lyrically, you can just tell that just this means so much to Kurt right now. It's got some sweet harmonies, a great bluesy solo, as well as a strong insight into Kurt's influences, which shouldn't come as much of a shock. This EP actually ends off on a pretty good note, too. Passenger Side, I really do love this. This is a Wilco cover, a cover of one of my favorite Wilco tracks ever. It's got that old school singer-songwriter vibe once again. Love Kurt's very mellow performance. He does this track a lot of justice, and I'd say he goes further with it by really making it his own. And this EP ends off with a remixed version of Cool Water from last year's Watch My Moves. And you know what? I actually prefer it because this trimmed down version just sounds so much better. I mean, initially, I thought this track was underdone, and it could have used a little clipping here and there, which we get. I do like it though. I love the slide guitar solo and Kurt's vocals. So far, so good. But listen, this EP, when this thing gets bad, it gets nightmarishly bad in a heartbeat. God, why is this thing so long? Back to Moon Beach, this EP's title track, not good. I mean, I will give it this. I will give it some credit. The aesthetic on this track is awesome. I love how hazy and surreal it is. Lyrically, Kurt, though, is just reaching way too far here. I mean, like I said, this track has got a great atmosphere to it, but Kurt just sounds lost. And it's over. 9 minutes long. No thank you. Blues come for some. I mean, from a distance, this track sounds like business as usual. It's another very laid-back, swampy slacker rock jam. This time, mostly just Kurt and his piano. But it gets boring so fast and so one-dimensional, and it does not progress at all. Lyrically, it's not that strong, and vocally, it's even less. It's also, once again, over 5 minutes long. This EP needs to be trimmed like 8 times, but we have not reached the darkest side of this EP, because we get Must Be Santa. What nightmare realm have we wandered into? Listen, out of nowhere, Kurt decides to pick up the pace, add some upbeat synths, get a little pep in his step. That's fine. I've been waiting for that for 3 albums now, baby. For a holiday cover of random-ass Must Be Santa, the uninspired vocals, the instrumental, the backing vocals. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm not opposed to Kurt Weill covering some Christmas carols. I can think of a few that he would probably do really well. But this is a nightmare. Oh, God. This thing it's all over the place. I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a lot of great material here. There certainly is. As a matter of fact, most of the tracks here, to an extent, have some really strong qualities to them. But why is this an EP that's 9 tracks long and 52 minutes? I mean, like I said, a lot of materials here is good, but then we get these bad tracks which take up almost half of this thing because they're so darn long. Kurt needs to trim a lot of things down. A lot of great ideas here, some serious nightmare fuel here too, but it's fine. It's a fine EP. If you're a Kurt fan, check it out, but just steer clear of that damn holiday cover. Feeling a very strong 6 on this EP, but let me know what you all think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. But before I say goodbye, I just want to give you a quick update about what's going on here at the channel. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I only have about 3 more reviews I'm going to be posting this year. December is very, very quiet, and I don't care about the Nicki Minaj album. I'm sorry. But I will be reviewing the new Panopticon. I will be reviewing the split between, Nothing and Full of Hell. Also have one more that I have in the canon. Can't remember it offhand. But outside of that, I'm also going to do my yearly countdown last week of December. You could expect to see my favorite EPs, my worst albums of the year, my 50 favorite singles, and my top 20 albums. Also, early January, I'm going to be posting 5, I guess you should say, older reviews of older albums. These are albums that may not be considered classics, but are reasons that I decided to get into reviewing music, and a major reason that I am doing what I'm doing right now. If that's something you want to see more of, let us know in the comments, subscribe, and until next time, have a great day, friends.